Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making a couple of rabbeted drawer boxes to fit this plywood cabinet. Nothing fancy, just there's a sample cabinet to play with the CNC router. So we're going to make these drawers to throw in it. Just out of some scraps we got. We got a rabbeted corner joint, 3/8 maple plywood, and the bottoms are recessed a 1/2 inch. Just that's my normal setup for using bloom slides, but we're going to be using full extension side mounts on this one. It's what I got laying around. Those aren't the right ones, but I've got shorter ones laying in the cabinet. Let's get to it. Step one is getting our dimensions of the cabinet box here. We got to figure out our front and back widths and lengths, our sides widths and lengths, and we got to take into account the drawer slides we'll be using. So we've got 24.5 inches wide. Our drawer depth is 15. So I went and did the math for these. We're going to be using a rabbeting bit for all of our corner joints here. So everything you see on that corner joint is 3/8, 3/8, 3/8, 3/8. And we're going to use 3/4 inch side material. Since this front is going in between the two sides, we got to subtract 3/4 of an inch from our width, and then our sides, drawer sides, are going to be the full depth as the rest of the actual measurement. So here we got front and backs going to be 22 11/16. Sides are going to be 14.5. Then I broke that down with the widths and the lengths we need. So I'm going to go chase down some materials and we'll start ripping and chopping those to length. All right, we're here at the table saw. We're going to rip our 5-inch pieces here first. I think I'm going to just make the two top drawers 5 inches wide so I don't have to keep track of it. The less you have to keep track of, the less chance of screwing something up. So we're going to rip the 5 inchers and then we'll rip the 9s. All right, so now we're going to head over to the chop saw so we can get set to cut these to length. So we're going to set our stop block up here to cut all of our front and backs first. Those are the longer pieces. And the reason we do that is in case we screw something up, we can always go back and turn it into a shorter piece. So we need front and backs. There's 3 drawers, so we have 6 pieces of each. I'm going to always square the ends of your plywood because the factory edge is never square. It's close, but I wouldn't trust it. Just a little bit wavy, so we'll flip it over so we have a nice square reference edge on the front. Two of these. And then we need our 14.5 inches. But since my stop here stops at 20 inch, I got a 20-inch stick here to make up the difference. So we need 14 and a half plus 20, 34 and a half inches. Put our 20-inch stick in there. Now we'll cut the other pieces. All right, the next step, I got all my drawer parts stacked up over here. We're going to dado the bottoms for our 3/8 drawer bottom. I've got a table saw set up here in the middle, specifically for just doing my drawer bottom dados. And I've got a throat plate in here. I can pop that out. And this drops in with the fence. So I don't have a room for a fence in here, so I use the throat plate. And then I can come up and set my dado depth. We're going to go 1/4 inch, just a little bit extra. So when we go to figure out our drawer bottom sizes, it's easy math. And that leaves me a 1/2 inch off the bottom specifically. Let me grab a push stick. Next, we got to bring our parts over to the bench. We'll calculate the drawer bottom sizes. So for our drawer bottoms, since the dado we just made, and here is a 1/4 inch deep, plus a little bit of clearance. That means we're left with a 1/2 inch here. So our drawer bottoms need to be 1 inch smaller than our drawer box size. So we need 22 7/16 wide by 13 1/2 deep. All right, I'm gonna go grab some plywood and we'll rip those to size. All right, we're gonna set our 2 stops. 13 1/2 on the smaller one. And the other one is 22 11/16. Rip it in half, get our piece off of here, and we can worry about our other one. We're not going to have enough plywood here. Bummer. Light. Let me see if I can find one more piece of plywood. Got one more piece of 3/8 here. I'll leave a little bit extra here to trim back off. That's our 3 drawer bottoms. Now we're going to get the router set up to do the rabbets. So we're going to get the router bit changed. And the easiest way to unlock a router bit is put the 2 wrenches as close as you can together like this and squeeze. And sometimes you might have to give it a tap just to release the collet. Put the new bit in, tighten the collet, get the offset and the wrenches there in the right direction. You can just squeeze with your fingertips just that little bit. That's all it takes. And we're going to set this up to be 3/8, 3/8, 3/8. So it's a rabbeting bit with a 3/8 shoulder there. Got the right size bearing on there. It's an adjustable router bit. And then we're going to adjust the depth here to also be 3/8. Just going to slowly creep up on it here. Right in there, so it's just splitting that line. Alright, we're going to plug it in. We're going to go grab a sample of plywood to make sure we're doing it, to make sure it works first. Down there like that, and I think, or we just call it good there. We're pretty darn good there. We'll leave it alone. That's just going to clip together like that. Plenty of room for glue surface. A couple of brads, we'll be good to go. So I'll just separate our fronts and backs from our sides. Get my drawing here. Oh. I don't think it matters which way they go. Nope. They're all going to get the same treatment. Hole in that one. does matter. Darn it. It does matter because I already put the drawer bottoms in. Darn it. So the front and backs need it opposite the dado, which I happened. Nope, needs it to be the other way. So those two are junk. But, right, let's try that again. All right, slight hiccup. So you gotta remember with the drawing here, the dado for the drawer bottom is on the inside. So the front and back, so we have to be on the same side as the dado. And then same thing with the sides actually. So we want the dado up for that to interlock back together correctly. Since I messed that up, I'm going to cut two more 5" by 5" by 22 11/16. Bring you in here close and we'll get one of these assembled. So the way this joint's going to go together, we want the ends of the drawer to cover the end of this plywood just for aesthetics as we assemble it. Quarter brads, glue it and brad it. Do one joint here first. Drop in the bottom. fits. And it might be a little tight. Whew. That's plus a half. 22 and a half. Yeah. What happened here? Did the math wrong on that one too. 21 and 15/16 plus a half. 22 and 7/16 long. Let me go trim those. And we're back again. It's going to drop in there like that. Glue. Glue. There we go, one finished door box. So just gotta remember, cap the sides or capping the ends just to hide the joint, or hide the end grain of the plywood, at least, however you want to look at it. Okay, and that is that. Now we're gonna sand the top and round over the edge real quick. Let's go with some grit. we go. One finished drawer box. Just gonna finish up these last two real quick. And that's it. So there's our 3 drawer boxes complete. On the next video that I put out, it will be on how to install full extension drawer slides, side mounts, and mounting drawer fronts to a cabinet. All right, thank you.